My name is Yohosame Cameron. I'm a 48-year-old musician from California, and this is a handpan. The handpan is a steel drum invented in Switzerland in the year 2000, paying homage to and tuned by the steel drums from Trinidad. I had a Sufi sheikh. The sheikh told me, go play this instrument on the street. He say, you'll be in less than honorable company, and some more than honorable. And every dollar that come to you, you know that came from Allah, came from the divine source, you know. And his advice has proven to be true. And that's how I got into busking, really. Sufism is the mystical branch of Islam. Sufism is the purification of the heart. The Muslims believe that the reason we're here is to worship God. So in order to do so, we need to clean our hearts. And Sufism is the process by which you do that. That's my understanding of it. And Sufism has a lot to do with sound, which has always been my thing anyway. As a matter of fact, it's been called a sonic theology. And the idea is that sound is very powerful. And music is very powerful, as we know, so I'm not going to be able to explain it. But it has to do with vibration and resonance and harmony or dissonance and these kind of things. Yeah, I'm bringing the walls of Jericho down after 3 days of blowing the trumpet. And, you know, the wine glass breaking with that operatic voice that can hit that resonance that just shatters it. We believe that sound is very powerful. And what I'm doing here is a very gentle offering. And a lot of people don't even hear it. But then some people, I can see it now, I've learned to recognize that some people just stop and I like that actually, because most of these people here are shopping. And very consumer driven, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if I can snap them out of that mode where they're just totally present in the moment, that's a beautiful thing. Handpan.org is a good place to start. Fortunately, they're being made all over the world now, but they're rare because they have to be handmade. So the supply is swamped by the demand with these instruments. This one was made in California by Colin Folk. And what's beautiful about these instruments is the original steel drums were made after World War II, when the Americans and the British left empty oil barrels on the islands, and the people who lived there figured out how to tune steel. Tune just like a harmonica is, meaning there isn't a wrong note to play. So you could have a musical experience with one of these without any musical training, which is a nice component to it. You just have to get one and learn how it wants to be tapped, basically, because you can't be heavy-handed with it. It's kind of feast or famine. Some days are very profitable. Busking is not something that should be an impoverished lifestyle. It doesn't need to be. And people are more generous than you would think. But some days you don't get anything, and so it can't be your primary motivation. For the CDs that I currently have, I was in Santa Cruz, California, and I was playing this instrument on Pacific Avenue, which is a popular place for street musicians. And it was about midnight, and there were still a lot of people out, and I was having a great night, and this gentleman came up, and he had a cello. And he sat down with me, and he just started playing the most beautiful cello music. And the cello and the handpan, those two instruments really hold each other well. They're very complementary. So we busked for 2 weeks, and then we went into a cabin in the Redwoods, and we recorded the music that's on this CD here. And that's why I'm particularly fond of that CD. I have other recordings and other CDs, but the one that I'm currently selling is with, his name is River Solomon, and that's why it's special to me, because he's on it. We had home recording equipment, which is fairly simple process these days, you know, a nice microphone. I think we went direct into a laptop computer. So the recording is homemade, and you can hear things like roosters in the background and acorns falling every now and then on the roof of the cabin. So it's rustic, but that gives it a particular flavor, which is pleasing. We had a basic structure for the songs, but then there was a lot of room for improvisation, and that brings out a real lovely exchange because he was good at it. So we could go back to the melody line or the structure of the song, and then we could take off and explore open space. There's only 3 songs on the CD, but it comes in at 40 minutes, so they're long songs. Well, I grew up in Lake Tahoe, which is the Sierras. A beautiful place to grow up, lots of swimming and hiking. And I started playing the guitar when I was 6 years old. I grew up in Lake Tahoe, and I actually have a degree in music from 30 years ago. And I did a lot of traveling. I've seen much of the world. I've been to Tahiti, I've been to Morocco, I've been to France, Spain, Italy, Greece, Croatia, all through Mexico, up to Canada, I went to Easter Island. I've been to Lima, Peru.
Did you play this particular instrument?
No, I didn't bring this one. I've hitchhiked across the country twice, actually, busking, but the traveling around the different places of the world was with my family. And I had a guitar, but not a handpan.